Hey everyone, this is an update video for August into September. It'll probably be released sometime in September, just due to the nature of all the stuff that's going on. I haven't had an update video in a couple months because I haven't had appointments, and everything's been the same. I'm still slurring. I still have the swelling, inflammation feeling, all here. I can't talk a lot, or it hurts to swallow. The brain fog and the vertigo is still there. It's every day, along with everything else that is going on with me. I have been editing, re-editing videos, as some of you probably seen, and things were going well. I was able to keep to some semblance of a schedule and take breaks when needed without feeling overworked or making my conditions worse. But in the last couple weeks or so, here in August, it's August 12th as of this recording right now, as of the last couple weeks or so, the upload frequency has dialed back, and there's a reason why, and I'll explain in a few minutes. So when we left off, some of you know I was having problems going to the bathroom with urination, and had the whole issue where I would go back to the office to the urologist and they'd be like, so how's your erectile dysfunction? I'm like, that's not why I came in. The medication you prescribed for me, Cialis, was supposed to help the prostate. The other stuff is just, it's like a dual action thing. That's not why I came in. Every visit they ask me, how's your ED? I'm like, I don't have ED. That's not why I came in. It has gotten better since I've been on the Cialis. And I do drink like a little can of tomato juice every day because I heard that the lycopene helps with prostate health. So I had a follow-up appointment with the urologist on July something, like late July. And that visit went really well. I talked with the doctor for like 45 minutes and I felt like I was finally being heard. You want to guess why? The visit was 45 minutes and I felt like I was being heard. I'll give you one guess. One guess as to why. You guessed because the doctor was a female. Bingo. Apparently she's a traveling doctor. She travels between this town and then the one that I have to go to for my surgical procedures. And I just happened to be scheduled with her. She comes in and first thing she asks is, well, how's your erectile dysfunction going? And I said, that's not why I came in. I came in because I was having problems going to the bathroom with urinating. She says, oh, okay. And that kicked off, like I said, 45 minutes of just talking. It wasn't me talking for 45 minutes straight. It was her asking so many questions. Involved questions, embarrassing questions, which needed to be asked. Because she said, well, I'm trying to figure, I want to funnel down what's going on, and can we get a better idea? Because what's going on with you can be a few different things. And before we do treatments or medications, I want to, try and narrow it down as much as possible, which was better than the 5-minute visits I was having, where it was like, here's some Cialis, see you next time. So again, I implore any little girls out there that might be watching, or young women, anyone who is trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives, be a doctor of anything. You are sorely needed. Good Lord. So I left there with higher hopes, but as you know, I've had high hopes before about things, but we'll see. When I scheduled the follow-up, I was like, can I see you, please? And she says, well, I also work in this town, so if I'm not here, we can schedule you there, which I would prefer not to go 30 to 35 minutes west all the time, because it's But hopefully I can see her in the town that we live in. She wants me to do pelvic floor exercises, and I'm waiting to hear back from the physical therapy place up the road about that. I haven't heard anything yet. It kind of just dawned on me. The last 2 weeks have been a blur. I'm going to get into it in a second. So she wants me to do those, and then unfortunately on the 26th of this month, so in about 2 weeks exactly, she wants me to have a cystoscopy, or as they call in the office, cysto, which I'm going to call it because that is hard for me to say with my speech impediment. If you don't know, graphic description warning, trigger warning, I guess. Cysto is where if you're a dude, well, it's the same idea if you're male or female, but if you're a guy, they take a little camera attached to like a little tube, like about the size of a wired mouse, like the wire of a mouse, and they stick it in your dick, like in the hole, and they just feed it down in there, and they go like into your prostate, and it goes down into your bladder and all, like it just goes down there. And I think they might even fill your bladder with some kind of solution or something. I did some research and then I stopped doing research because holy crap, it just sounds awful. So that's scheduled for the 26th, which not excited about that at all. They wanted to do it in the office where you are absolutely coherent and awake for it and present. She's like, I can prescribe you some kind of, I forget what it's called now, some kind of medication that can relax you. And in my head, I'm thinking, you do not understand the nature of my anxiety. And then she was like, they'll also put a numbing agent there, on your penis. So, and I'm like, you need to inject me with Novocaine, like for your junk, like Dickocaine. Give me some Dickocaine, inject that in there, boom, we're good to go. Because I made the mistake of going onto like Reddit and reading like, what was your experience with cysto? And holy crap, And then she was like, if you don't want to be awake for it, there is the option to be put under. But there are more steps. Yeah, at first I was like, okay, you know what, I'll try and do the normal way. And so we scheduled it for the 26th. Apparently, another weird ass thing is, I don't know the time of the procedure until the day before. So they're going to call me on the 25th, Monday, to schedule it the next day. And I asked the nurse's assistant, I was like, can you please put a note in there to try and make it as early as possible? Because both me and my partner, who's also my ride, works thirds. She's like, I'll try. I can't guarantee anything. I'm like, I just know for a fact they're gonna be like, well, we have an appointment at 2:30. But fingers crossed, it's like 8 to 10 ish. I hope. So I had asked Justin to take the day off because we don't know when. Yeah. So put a pin in that for a sec. So I went home, did the Reddit thing, got freaked out. I called the office on the next business day, and I was like, hey, I would really prefer to be knocked out for this. What are the steps? And holy crap, the steps are so weird. I had to go to the hospital and get an EKG. Then I had to go to the hospital and get 2 rounds of blood work. All of that had to come back okay. Then I needed to be sent off to my primary care doctor to have him okay it, and if he did that, then they would okay me to be put under. I have had multiple procedures done in the last few years, as some of you know. I've documented them, including ones I've had way back in the day. I've been put under a few times, is what I'm trying to say. I've been given anesthetic. But I have never had to jump through hoops. And when I called to talk to the assistant about it, to confirm that I wanted to do this, I told her, I was like, this is really weird. I was like, we're going to take the pin out of the thing, I said, between all these steps I have to do just to get anesthesia and not getting scheduled until the day before, I was like, all this is highly inconvenient. I have never had to do this. And she says, wait, really? And I'm like, yeah, I have been put under many times. I have never had to do this. And I always know my surgical procedures weeks in advance so we can plan for it. This is highly irregular, but they're acting like it's not. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk to them. This is just how they do things, but I've never experienced this before. It's very strange. So as far as I know, the cysto is being done on the 26th. I'll be put under. I'm not looking forward to waking up because apparently it feels like you're peeing razor blades and you're probably pissed blood after it, which, good God. Hopefully it's early enough I can just come home and go to bed, or try to. And you're supposed to drink plenty of water so the urine doesn't get too concentrated, which can lead to more problems. But she wants to do this because she said, I'm looking at your MRI that I had months ago. She's like, I'm looking at your MRI and there is some potential issues around the prostate. And I said to her, No one ever brought that up to me. And she just went. So, again, women, be doctors, please. There's just some irregularities that I want to see what they are and make sure everything down there is working correctly. She's like, because once we do that, then we can, like, as she was talking about, funnel down treatment options, prescription options, and stuff like that, rather than just throw pills at you and, goodbye, which has been pretty much par for the course with most visits. So that's scheduled. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy done on the calendar on the 6th, last Wednesday. I have the prep and everything. I got a call from the urologist office saying, hi, your last urine sample that you had here when you were in the office, it came back positive for a UTI. Because of course it did. Of course it did. We were putting in an order for prescription for antibiotics for you. I got off the phone and I thought, I was like, oh crap, I need to call them back. Called them back. I was like, hey, I have a colonoscopy coming up. Do I postpone taking the pills until like Friday? Or take them anyway and just take them through the colonoscopy? She's like, I'm not sure. I think it would be okay to take them during it, but give them a call and then see what they say and then give us a call back. So I did. Called the gastro office and I said, here's what's going on. And they said, okay, well, we don't like to do a procedure like this while you're on antibiotics. We prefer you to take the antibiotics and then we can do the procedure after. So we're going to reschedule the procedure, which I thought, fuck. Only because I want to get it over with. Like right now, it is August 12th. I could be done. It could be the nightmare, horrific thing could be done. And now I have to look forward to it in a few more weeks because they wanted to schedule it now for September 3rd. So a little less than a month, 3 weeks or so, I will be having a colonoscopy, which means in the span of a week, I will be having a cystoscopy, and a colonoscopy within a week of each other. So I'll be having a tube going in one end and a tube going in the other end with cameras and shit, and that freaking sucks. Getting old sucks. I hate fucking hell. Also, getting a mysterious illness that ravaged the world and having the long version of it that is just wreaking havoc on my body, and it's so damn new that we are essentially guinea pigs because no one can figure out what's wrong with me. That sucks too. It's been sucking for a long time now. So, when I talked earlier about the upload schedule being very erratic now, that is why. I started on the antibiotics 12 days ago. I finished them yesterday. The last 12 days have been rough. They're very strong antibiotics. I had to take them twice a day, 12 hours apart, which was difficult for me because of like our eating schedule and our sleeping schedule. So I had to wake up early as I could every day, take it immediately, and then eat immediately. So you have to take it with food because it can cause some serious side effects, and it did. Like it can cause everything from nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, insomnia, migraines. There's just a whole slew of things it can cause. And the lady on the phone said, if you want, take it with yogurt. It'll help with the stomach and digestion issues. I hate yogurt. I think it's disgusting. But I would wake up, have breakfast immediately, and then take the pill, and then down an entire thing of this, like water. And yeah, the first 6-7 days, I felt like I had the flu. And with the nausea, upset stomach, and the diarrhea stuff, it was... And I'm thinking to myself, how is something that's supposed to fight an infection to help make you better, why does that make you feel so much worse? It's bizarre to me. The last few days weren't as bad, but it was still with the bowel movements, and so it was not fun. It's still not fun. I look forward to it not being like this. So I couldn't do anything. I tried to edit, but I couldn't. And I'm still coming off of the antibiotics. That's why I waited until I was done with them to even attempt to record a video. Because I still feel kind of but at least I can communicate and not feel like just dog shit. Even physically, not just physically, just because I had to eat so much. in the last 12 days, almost 2 weeks. Like I had to have 2 to 3 times the amount of food that I normally have just to keep the side effects somewhat manageable. Because like, another one was vomiting, and I had the feeling, but I never got like where I felt like I needed to throw up. I don't know, I'm knocking on wood. It's done. I had even considered doing little update videos during this process, but I felt so ill that I was only able to do one, and it's this one. All right, I'm on the last of the antibiotics, about ready to take it, which is great. Good riddance. Good riddance to these, because holy crap, these have kicked my butt for almost 2 weeks. So I'm gonna take this one, prepare for the my brain fog stuff's kicking in, prepare for the side effects to kick in, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and just deal with it, hopefully for the last time. Yeah, that's why like I've done no editing in 2 weeks because of it, and I'm not there right now. And I have the cysto coming up, and I have the colonoscopy coming up, and I'm gonna do what I can. Like I've worked ahead on purpose, that way I can upload videos and let them sit in copyright stew for a while and see if they get hit. If things start getting erratic and uploads just kind of peter out and slow down, it's always health stuff with me, and it sucks. So I have those 2 procedures, and then I have 2 follow-ups with the urologist and the gastro people in September. So I'm going to do what I can to keep having the content coming out, but it was every day here for a while, and then it hasn't been for a tinier while. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go back to every day, because I have worked ahead, but if I catch up, then I have to work ahead again, and it's an even bigger drought, if that makes sense. So I have to kind of space out what I can, re-edit where I need to before, because other channels like that do, wrestling and stuff, they get hit with copyright, they can just pull the video and re-upload it some other time. But with Doctor Who, it's chronological, it's in order. So I can't just take, like, if I'm on season 3, I can't just pull episode 1-9 and then put it back on after 3-2. That would just, like, maybe I could, but I don't know. Maybe I should. I don't know. Feedback on that, I don't know. Yeah, that's the update so far of what's been going on. If the audio is wonky, I apologize. There is a fan on, the quietest fan we have in the house, because it is 10:30 p.m. right now, and it is 87 degrees American as of 10:30 p.m., and that's stupid. So, as some of you know, we hate summer. It sucks. It's very, very warm. I am roasting here. So, yes, if the audio is weird, I apologize. If the video is weird, I apologize. I think that's it for now. I'll have an update here as the events draw closer, if anything new happens. But for the meantime, I'm going to go rest and attempt to get this out of my body. Because holy crap. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon-ish, and under a lot more stress, as things that I don't want to have happen. So, to talk to you then. Alright, so I've talked before about how if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck, that kind of thing. You hear that a lot. I say that because guess who got an infection, was taking an antibiotic to fight that infection, and that led to another infection. Like, what? So, I had the infection, was on the meds, they're over there, I'm not gonna grab them, was on the, I think it's called Augmentin, for almost 2 weeks. And then, after that 2 weeks, I was still having some of the side effects, especially with, like, bowel movements and stuff. They weren't pleasant. So I call them, I go through the symptoms, and they're like, well, you may have this now. That happens when you take augmentin because it's an antibiotic. It kills all, including all bacteria, including the good gut bacteria. So pro tip, if you are taking a very strong antibiotic, also take a probiotic with it. I'm taking a probiotic now, a little too late, it feels like. But now I'm on this medication. It's almost out. I have to refill it. I have 1 or 2 refills total. I've got 1 left. And I get to call the brain's not working GI tomorrow morning and let them know my symptoms, what's going on, and see if we have to postpone the colonoscopy yet again. It's incredibly frustrating and just annoying. It's just so freaking annoying. I'm a little upset that I wasn't given better advice. If you're on anything like that, take a probiotic with it. It will help balance you out. Then you won't be stuck with the potential for another infection like I am. This is... yeah. Up next on the calendar, though, as far as assuming that nothing else happens, we have the cysto, and which they were asking if I wanted to postpone, and I said no. Just, can I get something over with, please? But get there when we get there. Hey there, we are outside of the hospital right now, about to go in and have the cystoscopy done, the cysto. Of course, I'm being put under, so I haven't been able to eat or drink since midnight. So some of you know I need to constantly be drinking or chewing gum or something because of my throat issues. So my throat is pretty gnarly right now. Bit nervous. Mostly, what are they going to find? And the amount of pain I'm going to be in when I wake up. Because the nature of the beast. But we will cross that road when we get there. So. The procedure is done. Would not recommend if you don't need it. The procedure itself, I was knocked out, so that was good. Although it is kind of funny, I just came out of anesthesia, so I'm a little, But it's kind of funny, they're like, don't drink anything after midnight. And then when the nurse came in, she's like, I'm going to give you a couple of Tylenol with this cup of water. And I'm like, well, you're giving me water a half hour before I'm being put under. Which it's called Twilight or something. It's like a mild form of sedation. You're not under normal anesthetic, I guess. Woke up and kind of what I was worried about, they stick a tube down in there all the way into your bladder, so there's a lot of blood. I'd use the bathroom right when I woke up, and when I first went, and this graphic stuff, trigger warning I guess, when I went the first time in there, a massive clot of blood shot out, like a good size clot of blood shot out. It just was and then I went back to the bed for the discharge overview stuff, and felt the need to pee again immediately. So I patiently waited through it. Then I was like, can I please go to the bathroom again? And I did. And this time was way worse as far as pain. The minute the fluid goes up into the shaft and towards out the top, it just it's like you're pissing razor blades. And it's you do it and you're and a little comes out. But I had more little clumpy bits. So I may just have to stay awake for a little bit today instead of going directly to bed, because I'm worried about, going to sleep and then stuff clotting up in there while I'm sleeping. So I may just down a thing of water and then just be really unhappy with myself and trying to urinate it out. So on the way home now, and yeah, I would not have wanted to be awake for that. So getting the anesthesia was a lot of extra steps. And yeah, I'm going to go home and just be absolutely terrified of urinating, and also hoping that I don't just bleed profusely. So it's like they want you to drink a lot of water for, makes sense, so your urine doesn't get concentrated, which can lead to bad things. But also, drinking more water means you have to go pee more, which is not going to be fun. So, yeah. That's the immediate update. Alright, it is the night after the cystoscopy. I had it done this morning. Well, it's a day of, technically, but I went to bed. I'm going to get a little graphic with some stuff. The initial waking up, which was I wasn't afraid of waking up. Like, oh, I did tell the anesthesiologist, I'm like, because they made a joke about, complications during being put under. I was like, there are worse ways to go out than going out under anesthesia. Like, honestly. Not only having the procedure done, but also waking up after, having a tube put inside your penis all the way down into your bladder. I'm not sure what I covered this morning on the ride home because I was still under the effects of being put under. So if I repeat myself, I'm sorry. The first trip to the bathroom at the hospital, I think I described this, was tough. Yeah, like the whole, I read a lot of Reddit posts about cysto and all of it, which helped me make the, choice to be put under rather than being awake for it, which I'm glad I did. They said it's going to feel like you're peeing razor blades. Maybe a lot of blood, depending if they use a rigid hose or a flexible one, or tube, not hose, a rigid tube or a flexible tube. I'm not sure what they used. And so yeah, the first time I went pee, a massive glob of blood just shot out. And I didn't know that could, it was like a glob, it's like I didn't know that could fit out of the hole. So that was unpleasant. Ended up dripping blood on the toilet seat and the ground because I was trying to clean it up. Because it was new. It was the first time I went. The glob of blood, I think, just kind of opened up waterworks, or, but not water. And it wasn't just peeing blood. It was just oozing blood. It was just oozing out of, the tip. Again, sorry for being graphic, but if anyone has to have this, I want you to know what to expect, possibly. So I had to wait till the oozing stopped. I went out and and I'm still in my stupid hospital gown, holding the back because, no one needs to see my naked white ass. No one wants to see that. And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I just, let them know blood dripped here and there. And they're like, we'll take care of it. Thank you for letting us know. They were really nice. And I got apple juice, which was nice. I had 3 things of apple juice when I woke up. So that was pleasant. Then I went to the bathroom one more time, and it didn't wasn't as globular. Even if you know to expect it, seeing yourself piss blood is because obviously it's not something they want to see. And obviously you'd rather see it if you know to expect it than not, right? But man, just the visual and the smell. Oh my God, that's something I've noticed over the entire day because I followed a very strict regimen today. It's just the smell is so rank. And I've dealt with some weird smells with the infections I've been having. But yeah, this is pretty gnarly. So I asked the nurse, because she said to, obviously drink plenty of fluids and, try and keep going to the bathroom, which I already knew from reading all the Reddit posts and the advice from people that, drink plenty of water. Because you want to flush, you don't want to if anything stays up in there, you're risking another infection, which I apparently am ground zero for at the moment. So I knew I was going to go back to my usual 80 to 100 ounces of water a day and, pee it out. But I asked, since I work thirds and I work or sleep during the day, I can't just be awake. But seeing all the blood that was coming out, my worry was if I go to sleep, and that's just going to like sit in there for hours. And, the clotting and all that, I was really, really concerned. So she said, if you can wake up every 2 hours, go to the bathroom, drink some more water, and just keep doing that. And so that's what I did. Every 2 hours, I actually stayed up later than I would have liked. I stayed up for about 3 hours past my usual bedtime because surgery was super early. Like, well, it was the first appointment or the first procedure of the day. So we were back home by like 9 a.m., which is a little later than I would like to go to bed, but But I stayed up for a few hours after that, and I was just chugging water. I think I finished off 2.5 of these before bed, before I just got so tired I wanted to go to bed. And between the time coming home and the time going to bed, I went pee 4 times. And each time, I won't say it's less painful, but because it still hurt like hell. Well, it wasn't like the first one with the glob shot out at the hospital and stuff like that. By the last one before I went to bed, the urine itself was more yellow. It wasn't like red. So that was, a good sign. So I was like, okay, it's still bleeding in there, but I want to go to bed. I'm tired. So I woke up every 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. I did it a couple times. Woke up, went pee, cleaned up, drank more water, went back to bed, and then I did that again. And then when I woke up for the third time, I just decided to stay up. I was like, I've had a few hours of sleep, and I've been drinking water ever since. I've had 2 trips to the bathroom when I woke up, and they haven't been too terrible as far as peeing blood. They look relatively normal, in quotations. They're still a little orangish, but not like red, as said, like it was. But the stream will be orangish, closer to yellow than red, like it was, until the very, 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 very end. As you're like squeezing the last few drops out, that's when it turns red. That's when it's like, it looks like blood. It's like bloody again. It's like no orange, it's red, like straight up blood. Which I think is odd, that it comes all the way out looking normal-ish, but then the very, very end, I guess it's where it's pooling there and it's still bleeding at the tip, I would assume, from when they inserted the tube. That's where we're at. That's what it's been like each time. I'm almost out of gauze that they gave me to put down there to protect from the bleeding. Hopefully I have it under control enough that it doesn't bleed all the way through like it was doing when I got home. And I could just use toilet paper or whatever, or tissues or something. It obviously does hurt if I move wrong or bend over wrong to pick something up. There's that sharp pain. And yeah. So I haven't called the GI yet about the colonoscopy. I really don't want to reschedule it. I just want to get it over with. But I'll force myself to call them here soon. I'm just hoping that the side effects from the original antibiotic eventually wear off, because I'm tired of having them. And now I've got this. There's a lot more crap going on, and it's just, I've said before how tired I am of all the ailments and the procedures and the visits and the travel and all of it, and I'm just so tired. And while this is going on, I'm trying to find a way to edit to work, which lately has been very difficult. As all I want to do is just throw on some Turtle Wow and zone out and just forget about, or try to, about all the pain I'm in. So yeah, I'll update you here soon about what's going on. But in the meantime, I'll go drink the rest of this water and just not anticipate the next trip to the bathroom. So yeah. Update for you. It is August something, I don't know. Oh no, it's September something, right? Yes, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's September 1st. So yeah. I can't talk. My brain is so mush right now. I'm on the third day of my low fiber diet that I'm doing in preparation for the prep for the colonoscopy on Wednesday. Today is Monday. Well, technically now it's Tuesday. But when I wake up, because it's still today to me, when I wake up, I will be starting the prep for the colonoscopy. I have done 3 days of a low fiber diet leading up to it to hopefully make the process better, I guess. I mean, I'm going to go as much as I'm going to go, but I'm hoping to get cleaned out as soon as possible because I don't want to have to do this again. Like, if there's any mess ups or anything like that. This is my lunch. A very plain bagel. I am so hungry. The previous 2 nights I've had like rice, like white rice for dinner. Because a low fiber diet is the most boring thing. It's like white bread, white rice. I have white bagels. It's boring. I can have sweet tea, so I've been having that. That's like a little, like candy in a glass right now. I have the giant jug of prep ready to go for tomorrow. I have to drink all of that. We have that ready to go. I have some apple juice and some Sprite in the fridge to act as a chaser with that for tomorrow, just in case, because I don't know what it tastes like, but apparently it tastes pretty bad. And there's a lot of it, so that's a lot of fluid. And they're like, also drink plenty of liquids during your prep. And I'm like, I'm gonna be drinking nothing but liquids during the prep because that's what the prep is. Like that's like what 100 ounces, maybe more, 120 ounces. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's a lot. I'm not sure. I'll have to see if there's a measurement on there somewhere. And then when you drink liquid on top of that, holy hell. But yeah, I am very, very dizzy and very lightheaded more than usual. My brain capacity isn't working at all. I'm very tired. And I have to be up early tomorrow to start the first step of the prep, which is to take some laxatives and then 2 hours later actually start that. But yeah, dinner has been rice. The last couple nights I've had some chicken tenders with it for protein. The last 2 nights, I didn't tonight. And yeah, the only thing I've had today so far is rice, a bowl of rice that I put some broth bouillon into it to give it some flavor, which I may have to do again. I don't know. Justin had purchased a loaf of bread, a white loaf of bread for me, because we have like whole wheat everything here. We eat whole wheat pasta, whole wheat bread, whole wheat everything. And like there's blueberry bagels in there that I really, really want, but I don't think the blueberry can work right now because it's, blue. You can't have any things with color in it. Yeah, Justin got me a loaf of white bread that I was just going to snack on. But ironically, the loaf of bread is moldy, so I can't have it. So this is the only thing. These bagels are the last 2 things. There's some bananas here. I might have a banana. But yeah, it is not fun. It's going to be even more not fun tomorrow. I just want to get it over with. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to say in my brain. So I just wanted to update you. So I'll probably talk to you tomorrow in the midst of the very, very unhappy times. So yeah. halfway done. Oh, God. All right. I am halfway done with the prep. I just finished a class. I just recorded it. And that was my 8th cup of prep. I had originally wanted to do it every 10 minutes, but there's that I had to go 15. One time I went 20 because I was in the bathroom. So I did 8 cups over about 2 hours. That's part 1. I have a 2-hour break. And then I do the rest, over 10 to 15 minutes. There's got to be a better way, y'all. There's got to be a better way. Speaking of, I gotta go to the bathroom. This just had a lot. Shit. Alright, the procedure is done. Thank Jeebus. I am once again coming out of the anesthesia that they give you. We're on our way home now. Everything was good. I was really, really worried about some stuff that I'll go into later. But, yeah, we're on our way back. I'm about ready to eat some Fig Newtons and drink some apple juice. And, yeah. I was going to do an update video on the way there, or when we arrived, but the prep made me extremely nauseous. They gave me some kind of medication through my IV for it, which helped. But I was so nervous and just, about the whole thing that I didn't do an update until now. So, I'm gonna go home. Gonna find something small to eat and then go to bed. So I will update you more in the future. So yeah. It is a few days later after the colonoscopy was done. I had meant to record a video before this, but kind of just been going through the process and trying to de-stress my body after having all the massive crap that's happened this month to me, from the UTI to the antibiotics to the infection I got from the antibiotics to the cystoscopy to oozing blood out of my private parts to peeing razor blades to having to go immediately from that to a low fiber diet to then having the colonoscopy to then trying to recover from that. It has been not fun. There's not much new to report, really. Instead, I wanted to do a video that I'm going to call Philip's Guide to Getting a Colonoscopy and Hitting Stuff Off Camera. Usually I record with this, but I decided to go with this. I don't know. If this isn't working, blame this. Yes, Philip's advice if you're going to get a colonoscopy from someone who's done it and who has had friends who have done it too. In fact, it's ironic to me that 5 people I know have had the procedure done in the last couple months, including my youngest brother. So I hope everything's okay there. He doesn't talk to me anymore. his wife told me he had it done. So he doesn't watch any of my stuff, but if you ever do, I hope you're doing okay. And I'm glad that your stuff came back negative. So let's get to the advice. So, first thing I'm going to advise is if you can stomach it, go on a low fiber diet. I did that for 3 days. In hindsight, and I will get to why, in hindsight, I wish I had done it for longer, for 5 days or maybe even a week. I wish I had done a low fiber diet. I am not a nutritionist. I am not an expert. I don't have all the facts and stuff. But what I got was some white rice, some white bread, some white potatoes that I never got to eat because Justin put them in a really weird spot that I didn't think to look, not the usual spot. And his reasoning for it was solid. But I just, I didn't think to look there. I was already stressed out and starving. You're going to be starving. I didn't think to look where he put them. So I never got to have the potatoes. We just had them for dinner a few days back, and it fed us for a few days because he bought a big bag of potatoes. But I would really have liked to have had something else other than white rice and white bread. Oh, and white bagels, plain white bagels. We usually get blueberry bagels. Don't do that. There are other things you can eat. Applesauce. We got applesauce. And for beverages, I always drink a lot of water anyway. But we also got Sprite and apple juice. But that was more for the prep. I didn't have that at all when I was doing the low fiber diet 3 days prior. So my colonoscopy was on Wednesday. It is now Sunday. It was this past Wednesday. I had to do the prep Tuesday. I started the low fiber diet on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, low fiber, then the prep, which is liquid only, clear liquid only, which is why I got the Sprite and the apple juice, and then the colonoscopy on Wednesday. So low fiber diet for as long as you can. My friend, I don't think she did a low fiber diet, but she fasted the day before her prep. So if my colonoscopy was on Wednesday, the prep was on Tuesday, I would have fasted on Monday. She fasted the entire day Monday and then did the prep on Tuesday. I think it was the same prep that I had, which I'm still hearing stories from people, not just the nurses at the hospital and whatnot, for people who've also had this done, that the prep that I had is the worst kind. They'll go lightly, we'll get to it. But my friend fasted. Her bowel movements were clear on the first round of it. And then she didn't drink the rest. She dumped it down the sink because she didn't like it. I was on the low fiber diet for 3 days and then did the prep. My BMs also went clear after the first round. But I did finish mine because I was super paranoid. Yeah, my fear was obviously, one, would they find anything? But two, that it didn't work right and I would have to do it all over again. And I remember telling Justin on the way there, I was like, I obviously could do it, but I just did not want to. I just, one of those I can't do it again moments. And that's very much how I felt. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. But yeah, my friend fasted. So if you want to do that, go ahead. I can't. I have to have some kind of, especially with my stuff going on with my head and back and neck and stuff. Not having as much protein was tough since I eat a very regimented diet. It's not strict or anything. I have yummy food, but I try and hit as much sodium and as much protein. It's just things I need to watch out for, and I wasn't able to for many days in a row. So I say that I wish I would have done it 5 to 7 days, but was not fun. It's the blandest food. Pro tip: you're also allowed to have broth as long as it's clear. I have bouillon in the house, 4 different jars of bouillon, because I use it all the time for different things. I like to cook, as some of you know. So I had my chicken bouillon, and I mixed that with the rice sometimes. Also, something else you can have, sweet tea in general, but I had sweet tea. We have sweet tea in the house almost always, because it's the one treat I give myself, since I'm not allowed to have coffee anymore. So the sweet tea was just so good. It was just so delicious. Oh my God, yum. So yes, that's my advice for going into it is low fiber diet if you can do it, and get some sweet tea if you can also do it. It will be the one delicious thing you're allowed to have that tastes like something. I would just eat the bagels and drink some of the tea, and eat the bagels and drink some of the tea. Yeah. Advice number 2, stop eating at midnight before the prep. I ate the last time, as you know, I keep a third shift schedule. Technically, it would have been Tuesday morning at 2 a.m. was when I normally have my lunch, since we swapped lunch and dinner due to Justin's schedule, I had bagels and leftover rice. We have so much rice left. We bought a big box of rice and didn't use it all. Stop eating at midnight. I'll get into why in a sec. Even on a low fiber diet, you don't have to. If you're fasting, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I ate past midnight, not before the colonoscopy, just the day of the prep. Cause I was like, I am on a low fiber diet anyway, and that kind of thing. So if you can, stop eating at midnight, which might be easy for most people because they'll already be in bed. If you're not in bed and you're starving, and it's gonna be the last thing you eat before you start your prep the next day. I keep hitting this. The next day when you wake up, because when I wake up, it's the next day, even though it's the same day that I went to sleep. It makes sense if you work thirds. Yeah. Next piece of advice is to not let them give you go lightly at all. Another guy was having it done. He came in with what I assume was his wife, and he had soup prep and said it was fine. They didn't give him the reaction that I got by everyone when they found out that I took the go lightly. It was not pleasant. I think I've documented. It's been a few days, so I forget. And I was also under anesthetic on the last video. Yeah, they had to give me a thing in my IV to help with the nausea because I just felt like I already felt nauseous from drinking it, but man, it is a lot. I'm used to drinking a lot of liquid from the water, but holy hell, it is a lot of liquid. And then they're like, drink water, stay hydrated because you're going to be peeing out of your butt a lot. And it's just so much fluid. I'm used to a lot of fluid. I drink 80 to 100 ounces of water a day because I was told to. Normally, I drink 40 to 60 a day. That's normal for me. There's got to be a better way. I think I said it during that video. There's got to be a better way. And there is. It's pills. Apparently, they're giant. And you take 24 of them or something, 12 and then 12. But you just take the pills, you drink a metric shit ton of water, and then the same thing happens. You just void your bowels and you pee out of your butt and do that. Do that. If you can get the pills, do it. I was told that anyone that commented about having this done and saw that I had it done said, take the pills. My brother's wife, my friend, another friend who messaged me said, next time, get the pills. I've been told that they're probably not covered by insurance, but as long as they're not $1,000 a pill, I will look into it. Finish your prep. In addition to not eating after midnight, if you fast, you can risk it like my friend did. I wouldn't recommend that. It worked for her, but I would just be terrified of having to do it all over again, especially if they give you the go lightly stuff. Because here's story time. Because if you've followed my update videos and my health stuff, you know that I am cursed. In general, cursed. In life in general, I'm cursed. But here's an example. So I said I went clear. I was already butt peeing, freaking weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's just weird feeling. Every subsequent bowel movement I'd had after that was, butt pee. And there was nothing in it. It was just liquid from 11 p.m. on. It's a blur of uncomfortableness and pain and nausea. The point is that I had been peeing out of my butt for a while, and my fear was that I would have to have a bowel movement on the way to the surgery place, which is 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away. So I started my prep early because of it. And I'm glad I did. I was supposed to start it at 6. I started at 5. Then when you take the Dulcolax, 4 of those at 4. So I had to make sure to wake up early to do that and just stay awake. And then I was supposed to start the prep at 6 and again at 10. I started it at 5 and did it again at 9. Just because they say don't Google stuff, but I'm glad I did because a lot of the advice on Reddit that I saw said if you are doing the go lightly, start it early. And yeah, I am glad I did. I had finished the second prep by midnight because that one took me a lot longer to go through. Yeah, and as I said, drink water as you take it, and it does help. It helps get it through and flush out. But you can't drink water after midnight because they don't want you to, except that I did at 1:30 because Once I stopped drinking water, the BMs stopped, and I was worried. I'm thinking, oh, damn, this is like I'm already clear, but what if? So I had some water at 1:30, shouldn't have, but I drank a whole bottle of that, and I had some more after that. But it slowed down. I was getting really nervous, but started early. Glad I did because the bathroom trips had slowed down enough that I was confident-ish in making the 40 to 45 minute trip west. So get in the car. I'm already terrified to be in a car for obvious reasons, and I always am. And I was even more terrified now because I'm like, I do not want to. It was watery, and it would have been butt pee, but I didn't want to butt pee all over myself. And I didn't bring anything. I didn't bring like a bucket or anything. I probably should have. By the time we got to the surgery place, I had to go. Just because I told Justin on the way there, I was like, we may have to stop off on the side of the road, and I might have to get out and have an emergency session in a field or something. Like it's like my procedure was at 8. I had to be there at 7. Well, no, we left around 5:30 actually, so an hour and a half early, just in case something happened. Thankfully, nothing did. Most people will have their procedure in the same damn town they live in. I don't know why I couldn't have. There's a hospital in town that I go to all the time for crap, but apparently I needed to travel all the way to this place. It's dumb. But get there, had to go. Went inside, and I like was kind of bouncing in the chair while I was doing the registration, and she's like, "Oh, I recognize you." I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm here all the damn time." I didn't say that, of course, but I guess it's a perk to having health crap happen all the time to you is that people at the medical place that you have surgical procedures done recognize you. Yay. So she's like, "You have to go to the bathroom." I was like, "Yeah." So I finished the registration and I went. I went to the bathroom, so I did my business and cleaned up, and then you get in the habit of looking at your, you know, stuff in the toilet, and there were brown chunks in it, and it wasn't like it almost looked like bile. I guess I don't want to get like too descriptive. It was not clear, and I almost burst into tears because I was like, I'm not clear now. Why? Like I had been butt peeing clear for hours, for almost like 12 hours. It had been nothing. Like it just got more and more clear as it went, but there was nothing solid. And then I get to the surgery place right before my surgery, and there's like solidish stuff in it. Why? Like what the? Why? I was mad because again I was terrified that something else I was afraid of was like I said the prep wouldn't work right, and I would have to do it all over again because they weren't able to see everything clearly. I saw that in the toilet, and yeah, I didn't like get super reactionary because I was in a public space and also felt like crap. And I'm not really reactionary. As some of you will know on here, I don't react just to react, neither does Justin. But I wasn't happy. I was mad. I was really mad. But I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell Justin. I didn't tell the nurses because I knew if I said anything, they were going to make me leave and reschedule. So I was like, I'm here. I've done it. I went from being stressed about the procedure to terrified about what was going to happen. I tried to make myself go to the bathroom one more time, just in case, because it felt like there was stuff in there still, and nothing would come out. So I just asked the universe, I'm like, please, let it be clear enough that they can do the procedure without them having to be like, nope, can't do it. Come back in a week. Mm-mm. So that's why I say stop eating at midnight before if you can. Like then you'll probably be asleep, so it won't matter to you. Just give your body more time to flush it out, even though it had been clear of anything substantial. Like I said, for God, like 12 hours, and then just like I said, gotten more and more clear as far as the color as it went on. So like why it was anything was in it right before the procedure. Just I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it. So I freaked out. That's why I said, not only stop eating at midnight, but start the low fiber diet earlier, just in case. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, it's not really a spoiler because you know what happened. It was fine. As far as I know, it was fine. They were able to do the procedure. They found the one polyp. They removed it, sent it off for testing. And that's all I know right now. I don't know how clear it was. I don't know, you know, anything like that. And the last bit of advice I have is prepare for food after. I was told by the nurse that was taking care of me that I could have whatever I wanted. She's like, yeah, some people just go out to breakfast afterwards and, you can eat whatever you want. You really can't, though. I mean, you can, but your body will hate you for it. I should have done the low fiber diet one more day afterwards. That'd be my recommendation. Do a low fiber diet, maybe not as strict, but one more day. Just avoid greasy foods, fatty foods, heavy foods, fiber-ish foods. Just give your body a chance to adjust to having food again because it just cleared everything out. So, yeah, a low fiber diet, one extra day if you can do it. I didn't do that. That night when I made dinner, Justin was still having spaghetti because spaghetti can feed us for a couple days in a row, but if he's eating it by himself, it feeds him for more than that. So he was still having the spaghetti. And I made myself waffles and hash browns and some sausage. Those are probably three things I should not have had. It was the most delicious thing I'd had, probably ever. But my body was not prepared for all that. Like that night was fine ish, but I woke up in the middle of sleeping the next day and like my bowels hurt. It just like sharp pain. Like I couldn't go back to sleep. It hurt a lot. And it continued like that for a couple days. Even now, it's still kind of, my body's feeling like, what is going on? I'm taking the probiotic again to get some healthy bacteria back into my gut. I don't know if it's working because it doesn't seem to do anything. It's expensive. So once this box is over, I'm done because we spent a lot of money on this crap. And yeah, apparently I don't have C. diff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Speaking of not knowing what's going on, I can't speak to the cystoscopy or the colonoscopy because I haven't had the follow-up appointments yet. I have my urologist follow-up on Friday, and then I have the GI follow-up for the colonoscopy the next week, I think like Wednesday or Thursday. So those will be the next update videos as far as I know, unless something else happens, in which I find out the actual results. I'm assuming everything is good on either end because I haven't heard anything back. But I'll know specifically when I go for those visits, and that'll be the next update videos, and probably the last, barring anything else. Because after that, the only thing in October I have is my visit with my primary doctor, which I get to talk about getting arthritis in this hand, I think, and specifically this knuckle. And yeah, I'm having issues with my feet. It hurts to walk. So not happy about that. But yeah, that's the update video for now. A bit longer than normal parts have been, just because I wanted to give some information and help you out if you have to have it done. I didn't know any of this stuff, and yeah. So that's it. I will see you in the next one when I figure out what's going on, and yeah, see you then. It is September 14th. I had my follow up with the urologist on Friday, the 12th, so a couple days ago. And that visit went okay. From what she said, the cystoscopy, which I've been saying wrong, I've been saying cystoscopy. It's not, it's cystoscopy. Cystoscopy. But that is hard for my speech impediment mouth to say without, I can't say it fast. So I'm gonna continue saying cysto, but I am well aware now that I've been saying it wrong the entire time. But apparently the procedure was fine. The pathways, I guess, were clear, and no major issues from what they could see. I am a little concerned that we didn't talk enough about my reactions to the antibiotic or the lack of just information or, preparation for it, like what to do, taking probiotics as I've talked about. That wasn't discussed at all. The fact that my bowel movements are still a bit uncomfortable wasn't discussed at all. She did say that While the cysto looked fine, she didn't say great, she didn't say good, she said it looked fine, but to continue to monitor things, like the issues I've been having, I'm still having. So she said that my x-ray that they took had a couple issues that she wanted to address and see if doing a couple things could potentially help clear it up. She wants to try other avenues before we go directly into prescription medications, which, I've talked about before that with most doctors, male doctors, it seems, they immediately just prescribe something and that's that. She wants to go down different avenues to rule out things and say we at least tried them. So the first thing that she wants me to do is physical therapy for my pelvic floor, which I was already supposed to start, but they never contacted me, and my month has been so crazy, as you've seen in the video, that I blanked on it. So they're supposed to call me maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day to get me in there. I did express my concerns with the physical therapy place because it's the one I went to before that was very hit or miss. She said that the person that does the PT for pelvic floor is someone that she would recommend. So that's good. She said if it doesn't work out that she has other places she could recommend, but they'd be out of town, which I don't want to do. I'm tired of traveling for things. And then she also said that to be prepared because it's not going to be easy and that it could take years of doing it to fix the issues that I'm having if it does. I expressed concern that I did not want to go to physical therapy for years because I don't think my insurance will cover it. She was like, no, you wouldn't go there 4 years. You would just do it 4 years. So my hope is to do it long enough to learn it and to get comfortable enough doing it the proper way so I'm not accidentally hurting myself doing it incorrectly. Like if I watched a YouTube video, which I'm about ready to do, but to know the proper technique so I don't like further injure myself or make something new happen. And then once I'm comfortable, do it at home. Because doing the physical therapy before was extremely inconvenient. So, yeah, it's not something I'm looking forward to. And then speaking of inconvenient things, the second thing she wants me to do is take fiber supplements. She said don't take Metamucil or anything like that because they are garbage. Those are her words. But she wants me to take these. This isn't a thing. Imagine this is this bag, but darker blue, like the color of that. I dumped it in here. I'm supposed to take these daily. This I take when I wake up. This I take usually around lunch for me. I haven't taken this yet today. I don't enjoy these. This feels like I'm basically taking a laxative. I'm not trying to get too graphic. I can't really do much of anything. Like I can't watch anything really, like anything of substance. I can't. It's just difficult to focus and get immersed in things when you are constantly going to the bathroom. I don't think I need these things. I don't. She just wants to see if helping clear out that area will also take some strain or pressure off of the pelvic floor, I guess. Like they taste fine, I guess. They're not like gross. They don't mix well at all. Even if you use like a frothing thing to mix them, like I have one, but it just doesn't work. It's not very good as far as that goes. So I mixed this in my oatmeal that I have for breakfast every morning. I've had this for 2 nights now, and not a fan. I don't see how anyone can get anything done. My issue is, and I'm going to talk about this on my next visit, which is coming up this coming week in a few days. Prior to getting diagnosed with a UTI and going on the antibiotics, prior to that, my bowel movements were fine. I was regular. I could set my clock to them. They looked normal. They felt normal. There was no straining, I eat a very healthy diet. Now I wasn't tracking fiber, but I know I was eating foods that have it in. Like I don't eat a lot of stuff that would clog you down there. So I think this is a little overkill. So I'm doing it daily for now, but I may go to every other day, every few days. Like, we'll see. Especially like this one, because she said of the two, this one is the one she will, if I had to choose, because these are kind of expensive and I can't afford these. This is a month's supply. Each one of these is a month. She said that if I were to choose one, if she's gonna have me choose one, it'd be this one. Stay on this one. This is if we can swing it. I was like, well, I can swing this for a month, but I don't see the point in this one. Like, this is supposed to help with like gut health, and this is supposed to solidify the stuff better, which I can use, absolutely can use, due to all the crap that happened from the antibiotic that still hasn't fixed itself. And I did bring it up briefly, but I didn't get to go into as much depth as I wanted to, because there was just so much information going on about this and whatnot. And, you know, I don't know if you know how, like, when you're in a doctor's office, you're sometimes at the mercy of that doctor, which I've talked about before, but this time it was just like so much information that I really couldn't stay on track with what I wanted to talk about, because I got taken down a different path. So that's on me, I guess. But speaking of the appointment that I have in a few days, I have the appointment with my gastro doctor, my GI, on Wednesday. And unfortunately, I have to travel out of town for it. And I am going to try and talk to her about all this stuff and get her point of view on it. Especially since, as a GI, that area is more of her area of expertise. And I can be a little more thorough about the issues that I'm having and have had since being on the antibiotic, which completely just messed me up. Like, even taking the probiotics didn't seem to help. And I'm thinking that I don't have C. diff, because wouldn't it have shown up in the colonoscopy? Maybe they'll tell me. I don't know. That's next appointment on Wednesday. Tuesday night, I won't be able to take these at all, because I am not going to risk this freaking laxative powder, which is not, but it feels like it, hitting me on the way there. It was bad enough driving to that town after the prep. Holy crap. Again, literally. So that's where we are now. Taking this. I said, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to adjust it as needed. I feel like it's overkill right now, but we'll see what the GI says on Wednesday. I see the urologist again in 3 to 4 months. I don't know when yet, because she's not going to be in this town then. She's going to be at her home office in the town that I'm actually going to on Wednesday, which sucks. I won't know when that is until tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day, depending, because they're supposed to call and try and schedule me as well. All right, that's it for now as far as this update goes. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. It is Tuesday, September 23rd. Just turned, so it was Monday. And it's been a crazy week in some unexpected ways. On Wednesday, last Wednesday, the 17th, I had my follow-up visit with the gastro doctor in the town that way. And it went okay-ish. As far as the colonoscopy went, what I was told before, I was told, again, the information was accurate. I had one polyp. It was removed. I have something, I don't have diverticulitis, but I have something called diverticulosis or something like that. It's common, apparently, and it's nothing to be worried about necessarily. So that was a little, unhappy to hear. So then I went through with her the last month I've had of dealing with stuff ever since getting put on the Augmentin for the UTI. And I went thing by thing by thing by thing with her about it. She wanted me to do a stool sample to test for C. diff and some other stuff. I was irritated, not with her. I made sure to, tell her that. But I just thought I was irritated because I have asked 3 times in the last month at the urologist to have a C. diff test. And every time they were like, well, no, you don't have, like I've said before in the video, you didn't have these things and these things, so we don't think it's C. diff. And she says, C. diff can be there without those things. And I'm like, it's fucking irritating. It's so irritating. I was supposed to lay off of the fiber supplements I was taking until after the results of the stool sample. And sorry, it is very, very warm. We got a heat spike the last couple of days, and it's not been fun. And my throat really hurts, as you can probably tell. It's very scratchy. I'm trying to stay focused, but it's very hard. I wanted to do this as it happened, but I couldn't for reasons I'll get into in a sec. She's like, do this test, and I'll see you back in a month. So in October, I get to drive all the way back there again to see what's going on, or see what the next steps are, et cetera, et cetera. But as far as the colonoscopy went, things look okay. There was nothing she was worried about, so that was good. They went to get me a stool sample kit, because apparently I have to do it at home, which I was not happy about. I had flashbacks to trying to do the Cologuard thing. That sucked. But then I waited forever. The nurse comes back in and she says, we're all out of them. And I'm like, you're a Castro office. How are you out of? Like, this is a very important thing. I didn't say that, but I thought it. So she told me that I need to go to this other place really close by, and it was like a diagnostic center place, and ask for one. So go in there, there's a line, I wait, I go up there, and I know that I'm not the first person to ask for these things, obviously, but I'm the first person that's asking for these things. It's me. I've never had to do this. So it's like, I had to go up there and be like, I need a stool sample kit. And the waiting room is packed. It's like right there is the waiting room is right there. All these people are sitting there. I'm just like, so they give me the most confusing instructions. The person that was helping me was new, so she had somebody shadowing her that was telling her what to do and what to highlight and what to get me. And they handed me all these things in this big bag. I look at one of those like big brown bags. I was just holding it, just like, what the? Okay. They needed 2 different samples. It needed to be done and dropped off within 2 hours. But it had to be driven back all the way to this town that's like 40, 45 minutes that way. I asked when I was at the gastro office, I was like, can I please do it in the town I live in? Can I just go to the hospital and drop it off? She's like, we can do that, but I don't know how I could accurately get the results in time. And she was like, well, we can try it. So I was like, never mind. We'll do it this way. Whatever way will get you the results in the most efficient manner. Because that was important to me. So I had to somehow plan to have a bowel movement as close to when Justin got home from work as possible within a 2-hour frame to be able to drive 40-45 minutes to drop it off so they can get it and then test it before it expires. I was on a time limit. I was on a doom clock with the boom boom. I was stressed out. I was not happy. But I was reading. They gave me the little piece of paper and stuff, and I didn't keep any of it. I should have. They say you can refrigerate it for up to 24 hours after you get the sample to keep the integrity of what they need to test. So they give you 2 vials. I'm not going to get into super graphic detail, but they give you 2 vials. You have to, do your business in this weird half moon basin thing. Then they give you a tongue depressor to dig in, and then it feels so disgusting and primitive. I would rather have done it in office, I will do my business in a receptacle that you have, and then the people that are paid to do this can come in and get whatever the hell they need, and I can make the walk of shame out of your office and never show my face there again, because that would be embarrassing. So, yeah, and then the other vial was something that had red liquid in it, and you had to take the little thing out and little scoopy thing and put it in until the liquid raised up to a certain amount. The other one was a larger bottle. I don't say vial, but they were almost like prescription bottles. But one was a larger one. But there was no marked where to fill it up, so I just filled it up. So, et cetera, that night, around 4 a.m., I had to go to the bathroom really bad. And I was trying to hold it for as long as I could to when Justin got off work, but I could not hold it. Did the thing. I don't want to go into it. It was awful. I don't have any nose clamps here. So I had to put like duct tape on one side, hold it, and then duct tape the other, and then do it over the top to duct tape my nose shut. Because when I did the Cologuard, the thing that really, because you have to take a sample from the Cologuard too. When I did that, the thing that really got me was the smell. You don't appreciate being able to go to the bathroom in water and what it does for the smell until you don't get to do that. Did the thing, got the samples, it was awful. Immediately put them in the fridge in the biohazard bags off to the side, away from everything else. I was, of course, very, very careful, not cross-contaminate. I used like 4 things of gloves, threw everything into a trash bag, doubled that up, put it back in the big brown bag, and put that on the back porch outside. Not like outside, but we have like a enclosed back porch. Put it out there. It was awful, and I was not happy. So then Justin comes home from work. I was like, hey, if you can leave work early, please do, so I can get this out of this house and back there as soon as possible, because they opened up at like 7 a.m. It's like, if we can get there when they open, great. Sadly, he couldn't leave early, so I had to wait. I started getting everything around. He comes home. I put the samples into a little box I had. The box was just the right size to fit both of the things in their bags in there, because I was worried about them tipping over in the traveling. No. Yeah. So I put them in there, and I set them gingerly on top of the double bag trash bags in the back seat. Because I took everything, like the bag with all the stuff in it, like the waste and all the stuff in it. And then we blasted the air conditioner full blast for like 45 minutes on the drive. It was freezing out because it was still morning time. And it looked like freaking Silent Hill outside. I took some footage. This is what it looked like. Like there could have been, a scary nurse or pyramid head or something walking in the haze. And I thought to myself, of all the damn days, like, because not only am I worried about the samples going bad, so I wanted to keep them as cool as possible, refrigerated as possible. I was worried about them tipping over. I was worried about the car breaking down. We had a 2-hour time limit, and I was worried about not hitting it. But thankfully, we got there. We had to drive slow, but we got there. I drop it off. Super seamless process. But the lady at the window was a different one than I'd seen the day before. But I had like a Walmart bag with the little box with the samples inside, just carrying it around like that. So I handed it to her. She takes it, puts it under her desk, and says, "We'll take care of that for you." And I said, "Okay." But I'm thinking, can you please give that to someone? Can you not put it under your desk? But can you just hand it off to a technician or someone, or a lab person or whatever, and just have them test it, please? Not right now while I'm here, obviously, but just, I didn't want it. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. So I left super worried about the sample degrading too much or being left under her desk, or it's just, it's out of my hands now, so the worry kicks in when you can't control the situation, right? So then I walk back across the street to where Justin had parked. I grab the bag of, the brown bag of, everything out of the back seat, because I wasn't going to throw it in our trash. Absolutely not. Because, mentally I could not deal with, that sitting in the trash can on the back porch. So I called the gastro office, which was literally across the street. And while I was talking, I was walking the bag, and there was another one of those big dumpsters by an office building, a medical office building. So I was just talking and just threw it in there and walked back to the car, and we drove back home. That was Thursday. Then on Friday, I had made an appointment to go get vaccinated. I know some people are anti-vax. It is very, very, very controversial in this country right now. I'm not here to talk about that. I just have so many ailments and whatnot that I just do now. I go there, and I thought to myself, last time I was there, they asked me if I wanted this vaccine, this vaccine, this vaccine, this vaccine. I said, no, I'm just here for this one. But I thought, okay, things are really tumultuous right now as far as vaccinations go. In X amount of time, I'm ready to go get these other ones, but can't for whatever governmental reasons. And I thought, well, maybe I should just get some other ones while I'm there. So I get there, I had to sign this piece of paper that said that I had a previously diagnosed medical condition that necessitated me getting this vaccine, which I never had to do before. And that they would be okay to call my primary care physician to confirm it if need be. Never had to do that either. So I got that day, I took some photos of it to put on my Blue Sky. In this arm, they're I think there's a bruise here now. It's smudged. Like last time I got a vaccination, it was like on my whole entire arm. It was huge, but it also didn't make me sick that much, which was nice. But I had 3 here, and I had the COVID vaccine, I had the hepatitis B vaccine, and I had a tetanus shot. I haven't had the latter 2 in decades, and I'm getting older. So if you are anti-vax, you do you. But when you get as sick as I do, as often as I do, especially from having COVID, and that's what really ruins your immune system, I just want to play it safe. The only one that I did turn down was the flu shot. Maybe I will one day, but not right now. And then I have to go back in a month for hepatitis B shot 2. So that'll be on the books at some point. So I go home and get ready for bed because I was just tired. I woke up later on that night and I felt like shit. It was like whatever was going on with me, this cocktail of vaccinations had taken all my current ailments and magnified them times 100. My body hurt, my spine hurt, my neck hurt, my muscles hurt. But what was really the most uncomfortable overall for me was the nausea. My stomach was just flip-flopping. So I just told Justin, I'm lying back down. I feel like ass. It was rough. And I ended up staying in bed for almost 36 hours. I didn't sleep for 36 hours straight. I was just in bed for 36 hours because there was nothing for me to be awake for. And it sucked. I would wake up every couple hours and just roll over and try and go back to sleep. And it wasn't even good sleep. It was just, where you're so sick you can't sleep. Woke up about 30 hours later, into the 36 hours. Felt a little better. My head didn't feel like it was going to explode like scanners. And my stomach was still a little queasy, but not as bad as it was. I tried to stay up and do some work. I tried to edit, and I couldn't. I went back to bed for a few more hours. And then over the days, it's, gotten a little better each day. Still a little shaky down there, but I can eat, and I'm back to my normal level of pain, which I guess yay for that. So that's why when I say the last week was rough, it was. I had to visit, and then the stupid stool sample stuff, and then the vaccinations, and then just getting knocked the hell down for days. So, yeah. That catches us up to now. I still need to make an appointment with the urologist at her home office in the other town that we always drive to. I've been playing phone tag with them to try and get that scheduled. In October, I have back-to-back visits, back-to-back days with my primary care physician on one day, and then I have the gastro follow-up the next day. I have still not heard back anything about the stool sample test, good or bad. I hate using the phone. I hate calling people. I may download their app to see if the results are there. I just want to know if I have C. diff. That's all I want to know. Just do I have C. diff? Because my bowel movements are still the same. They're still uncomfortable, but whatever the antibiotic did to me in August has completely just thrown my entire gut balance out of whack, and it is not recovering. I do start physical therapy for my pelvic floor this week on Thursday, so in 2 days I start that. I'm not looking forward to it. I hate going there. This may be the last video for the month. I'm not sure. We'll see how the physical therapy goes. Maybe I'll do one more. But for now, I'm going to go grab some sweet tea. And I'm going to try and get some editing done with my mini breaks. Because, I still have all this crap going on. If I don't do another update, thank you so much for watching. And just keep me in your thoughts. I'm trying to replenish the channel as I can. It's going to take a minute. So thank you to everyone for being patient. And the views I do have, they're not a lot. It wasn't my intention to cannibalize the channel. But I also don't want to lose it. So it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things. Which is kind of the story of my life if you think about it with all the stuff that's happened to me. But yes, I need to use the restroom, go grab some tea, turn that fan on, and try and get some editing done before I need a break, because I can't edit for very long. Either see you in the next update, or see you in the next update video in the future, or whatever comes first. I don't know. But until that one, bye. Hello again. This is the final update for September. I wasn't sure if I was going to do another one, but I decided to, do one more. yesterday I had my visit with the physical therapist, which I was not looking forward to at all. I've said before how I didn't really enjoy my first stint there, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Getting there and sitting in the waiting room wasn't fun because there were three older gentlemen. I assume they're in their 70s. One of them was just talking to everybody. Fair play to people who are extroverted and can just talk to people. I can mask very well if I need to, if I'm comfortable enough to do it. But in situations like that, I'm just like, leave me alone. I didn't say that, obviously. Like, they didn't talk to me at all. Because I try and give off the I'm on my phone kind of thing, leave me alone kind of thing. But they were talking about crops and farming and politics, and it was just like, man. And then there was politics on the TV. I'm just like, just get me out of here, 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 get me. It was just uncomfortable. And then what made it even worse was I had to fill out like a 5-page like questionnaire about why you're here and what are your symptoms, and just like very in-depth questions, which I don't mind. Like, I'd rather people be in depth. But I was trying to focus, and they were just talk. TV is like literally above me, and it's just that's blaring, and I had a migraine already, and you know how the brain fog is. It was very, very difficult. It was not a fun experience to be there initially. Like, it was asking like, what medications are you on? How long have you been on them? And I could not think coherently enough to. So I was just like, more than a year. I didn't know the exact date because I couldn't think of it. But yeah, eventually I get called back, and that visit was actually better than I expected. Because first they take you back to a room. It looked like a chiropractor's room with like one of the beds and everything on there, which I appreciated because the physical therapy area itself is just a big open space with like, bikes and weight stuff and bands and just mats on the ground. Just everyone is in the same space, and I do not like that. But this was like its own little room, and I was happy about that. Talked with her for about 45 minutes. It was a good chat. She asked a bunch of questions. I was very thorough about what I've been through, what I'm going through, what I've had done. She did react a bit when I said I had the hernia surgery. Her reaction was, oh, okay, that could explain some things. Because apparently hernia surgeries can make some issues down there with the pelvic floor and whatnot. But I was very, very honest with her about everything. Not just what I've been through and what I've had done, but also the issues I've had. Talk about the issue I had with the hernia doctor. Talk about the issues I had when I came to the physical therapy place last time. Talk about the issues I've had with other male doctors. I feel like I don't have time to be polite guy in certain situations, and I'm not gonna be a rude guy, but I'm getting kind of tired of just accepting the fact that so many doctors are bad at their jobs. But yeah, I went over the whole gambit of things: urologist, gastro, colonoscopy, cysto, just everything I could think of, including all my issues that I've had for years and years and years. Which sucks, is the more stuff you have done, the more you have to say. The more you have to say, the longer it takes. So that's a double-edged sword. So I was talking for a long time. And they're going to put me on a 6-week, 2 times a week program. And I didn't do any exercises or anything yesterday morning. Well, it was actually technically this morning. Yesterday for me, though, because I came home and went to bed. But I start on Tuesday, which is still September. It's the 30th, but I'll just do updates for October as far as that goes. And then, yeah, two times a week, every week for 6 weeks. In addition to having the primary care doctor visit in October, which I had to change the day of. And then the gastro doctor. And I've scheduled the visit with the urologist in the town that way. So that's all done. And I had to reschedule my pulmonary doctor appointment for January because he's not going to be in town the day of my appointment. And I think that's just a sign for, like, I was probably going to cancel it anyway. He can't do anything for me. He just throws pills at me. And the last pills he gave me legit made me feel like I was losing my mind. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to see him anymore. It's a waste of my money. And I have to keep a... where's it at? Ow. I have to keep what's called a bowel diary. That is new to me, where you have to keep track of what you eat, all your bowel movements, all, like whenever you go to the bathroom at all. So urination, BMs. When you pee, you have to time it to see how long the stream is. And I gotta do that for 3 days. Not 3 days in a row, just 3 days. But I am very much a get stuff over and done with, so I've already started today, but I haven't done it there. I've been writing it on this here, keeping track of everything I've been doing. So I have to do a bowel diary because this is my life. This is just my life. It's just what it is. Just I don't know. All right, that is the update. It's short, but I just wanted to say I did go to the PT and talk to her. She was very nice. Unfortunately, when I do my actual physical therapy, it's going to be with someone else completely, which I don't like. And I told her that. I told her why, because the last time I was there, I got bounced around from person to person to person with varying degrees of effectiveness, including the one guy who was absolutely horrible and should not have had his job. And also, you can't build a rapport with anyone. If you're bouncing from person to person to person to person, you can't build. So I asked her, I was like, is this new person, are they at least nice? Are they good? And she said, yeah. She said they're very good. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that whatever pheromones I have that say don't like me, don't project out, and that she's patient, because I do have a lot of limitations. I went over everything with this particular physical therapist thinking that she was going to be so I'm probably going to have to repeat a lot of stuff to the new one, which I don't like. I hope it's a better experience than the last one I had, but we'll find out. And I'll let you know what's going on with that in October, in addition to if anything happens with the primary doctor and also the gastro. But we'll see. Everything's still the same, and it sucks. Like, my throat still hurts, and my bowel still messed up from the antibiotics, and of course I have the head fog and the brain, or the head fog, I guess it makes sense, the brain fog and the headaches and the neck pain and just all of it. My feet hurt. Sucks. Getting old sucks. But I'm going to go grab something to drink and relax a little bit. So I will see you more than likely in the October update, and as far as like talking goes, unless something else happens. Yeah, as I said before, keep me in your thoughts. And yeah, I'll see you in October. Spooky month. Till then.